Worth it.
Okay, hold on.
Wait, Rav, is your mic night off?
Get down. Wait.
Hold on. I'll grab you.
See you guys. Is it here?
People stop giving me fucking alcohol. I'm out of character.
Here.
Wait, thank you.
Buy her a drink first.
Is there another person?
I didn't wipe off my
Wait.
shoes before I came in here.
Wait, David.
There's an ender
David,
chest right there, Hera.
David.
Right there.
David.
What?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Apparently Rav can't.
If he can't hear you, then he needs to...
You have to deafen and undeafen.
Yeah.
Did not put my armor in an ender chest. Ow!
Well.
Oh, Dub, you don't need
nation
to.
leader,
You're a
you
nation
can
leader. Yeah.
No, it's not in the ender chest though.
It's back in Azeron.
I hid it somewhere.
Stop coughing so loud.
I can't help it.
I'll stand right here.
Ooh, your armor's not in the ender chest. Ooh.
Oh.
Wait, can I wear
Hello,
armor?
Cal.
It has to be in the ender
Can't.
chest?
Oh, okay.
No, I actually have no
Thermo,
clue.
why do you have your
I kind of like my
Just-
suit.
Wardbeard, that's actually Kurtosa's seat.
Retro,
so,
you know your
Ah, did not
OC.
know that, right.
Well, when the votes
The
are
flags-
going on, you can
The flags
actually...
will switch around once the
I'll just
kingdom
sit
votes
here.
are done.
I'll be
Yes, yes.
Because
Yeah,
whoever
anybody
whoever
from
acts
Blizzard
as
will
High
come.
King usually is a part of a nation, and will
Hopefully
wait
will.
until eventually a nomad becomes High King to deal with the fact
If-
that there's not 5 nation sleeps.
I think we might just have to like sacrifice these balconies maybe for like Thorinor.
No, it's fine.
Because-
That's the runner place right there.
That's
At the
fair,
top. You and I, we stay here.
yeah.
No, you go... Dude, you have your own... What?
Saved me a little cramp down there.
Bet.
Thermo, how are you?
Why?
Okay.
Wait, yeah, is he levitating for anyone?
Just wanted to hang out with
Thermo's
my
doing
bestie.
floating.
Thermo's
No,
doing
not.
air sits. He's doing air sits. Just
Okay.
don't
No,
don't
No,
mind
he's
him. He's
sitting on
doing his
the
workout.
edge. He's sitting on the ledge.
I can't see past your name.
You can't see past my name? Well, that's unfortunate
Raph.
for you, pal.
That
I
sounds
don't know
like
why
a skill
you're even
issue.
sitting here. Who's
Can you
saying
hear me?
that?
Who's saying what?
Um...
I can't hear you from all the way up
Here,
here.
it looks so weird to see you naked.
What?
What?
Let me see if I can find the Cortosans. Because
Yeah,
they
try and
promised to
find one
be
of them.
here.
Is this where Furion sit?
Think
Not
about the
really. You
dinner
could
first,
sit
Armo.
wherever.
Jesus.
I'll just
Whoa.
see
Whoa.
close to Julian.
Nano, read this, and if you need me for anything, you come to me, alright?
Oh, I get my own balcony. Jeez.
Thermo, you can come
Yes.
over next to me if you want.
Oh, I gotta walk all the way over there.
You don't need
have
to if you
to.
don't want to.
But
You
I
can
was
be in the
invites,
balcony. Okay.
and it makes me look so
Thermo's a
much
good
cooler.
friend.
Thank you, my good man.
Makes me look cooler than Julian.
Well,
Alright, well,
I'm high up now.
I guess.
I'll begin by coming
Yeah.
up to the stand first. Okay, well... This is to commemorate the 3rd ever election of the High King of the Riverlands. Today, we're doing it a little bit differently. Not the usual way that we do it. Now we actually have 2 candidates to go for the title of being the High King of the Riverlands. The candidates are Julian and myself. Now, before we start, I will pull out my Echo Book, and we shall see what vote won in terms of how nation leader votes are going to be handled. And as it seems to me, the majority voted for a nation leader's vote will count for 2 votes.
Ooh.
And that's how it should be.
Hmm.
Before we begin with the voting, I know some people already voted, so I won't look there yet. I see there are some here who could still vote, especially the nation leaders.
Hello.
And for that, I would like to bring somebody up to the stand there. Anyone who has any questions for Julian and I.
My Minecraft is lagging so hard.
Yeah, questions for Julian and I to maybe persuade you to vote for either one of us. So I'll take my seat, and whoever wishes to come to the stand and ask questions, you can do so freely now. You can have the first say, Julian.
Cool. Well, I mean, a lot of my things have been looking to, connect the Riverlands further, and I think that is a good.
God damn it.
Well.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
For the love of God. Oh,
What a good
no.
start.
Does someone have his manifesto? Maybe that'll have the answer.
That's insane. Discombobulated.
There is no shot that just happened.
Oh!
No, he's back.
Oh! Oh, he's.
The sc-
Oh no.
Gotta take a long pause.
He had to consolidate his thoughts.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he had time to think. It's good.
There we go. Notch is against me. Anyways, as I was saying before, I fainted. I guess. I think you bring up a great point. I mean, I think we all can kind of see that we don't see a lot of trade happening in the Riverlands, both internal and external. So I definitely plan to, make more opportunities for people to make more money, increase trade deals. I know the Cortozans had an idea, and I was in pretty full support for their idea. When we first were talking about what to do when David had taken his spot away. So I think the Cortozans are drafting up that, a full document. I know Fallen was also working with them about that. So I'm in full support. I want, the constant flow of economy to keep going because it's one of the great things about this. We have this, the opportunity to have such a great economy. And I want to encourage trade both within the Riverlands and our nations and also external, because I think one of the important things about an economy is that it stretches outside of one country or one continent.
Well, here's the thing. While there may not be a lot of trade in terms of rubies within the Riverlands, there's a lot more trade happening via trade agreements that were established between nations as a show of unity. I will just point out some examples. For example, the trade agreement that Thoronor has with Laputria over wood and iron. The same way that Etheria has a trade agreement between Laputria and Etheria for, shulkers and wood as well? Right? There you go. Those kind of trade agreements, especially when it's with the Riverlands, within the Riverlands, are a great show of unity and a way to trade amongst ourselves. Because after all, the Riverlands were the ones who got the majority of the rubies in Dreval. So it is only fair for the Riverlands to invest those rubies into other continents and other nations outside to help not just the economy of the Riverlands alone, but also help the economy of Dreval altogether, while we, in the Riverlands, can resort to not just rubies, we can resort to having trade deals between nations. We can also fund many things, and which is it was a really big reason for why I personally opened the money loans shop, to fund as many operations as possible from outside the Riverlands, just as in the Riverlands as well. A great example would be the Goblin General Store, which was solely opened thanks to the nice loan that they took from money loans. So, yeah, they have very good deals. And because of the successful agreement, or successful loan agreement between money loans and Plantatia, they were able to bring a branch of their store to the Commercium, further expanding on the trades within the Riverlands. So, I think it's going to be slow for a little bit, but it is our duty as the Riverlands citizens, the ones who have the most amount of rubies, to help not just our own nations, but invest into the world as a whole.
Thank you. Thank you for your question, John.
Anybody else would like to take the stage?
I'll go next.
Oh, okay. I'll go after her.
So I had the chance to come up with a few questions. I would say a fair amount of questions for both you, David, and you, Julian. And I hope that these questions will help address the main issues and your plans, your goals as the future High King. So let me begin. So the first question would be, how do you want to maintain the current goals and plans in terms of bringing the community together? As you are aware, we have the festivals, the holidays, or if you're planning to introduce any other sources of entertainment. Whoever would
Dave,
like
if you want to
answer
take that
first.
one first, since I
Sure.
went first last time.
Sure. Well, the seasonal holidays are a big thing. We have been doing this for years already, and we will continue to do so for the coming years too. As we're all aware, there's 4 seasonal holidays that happen in Dreval, and we in the Riverlands celebrate them greatly. Unfortunately, we had to bypass the Oktoberfest, Spooky Fest that happens, due to some safety concerns that were happening. But hopefully, this will no longer be happening, and we will continue to provide entertainment for our community to bring them together. But that won't be the only thing. Seasonal holidays are a great thing, and hopefully a lot of us will participate in them, but there's other ways to do so, such as, I'll just bring an example of what we usually do. After each auction, I invite everyone to the Thornor Brewery to spend some time together and to hang out. Another example would be the coveted confession dinner that I hosted in Duminor. While yes, it had a reason for it, but at the same time, it did bring a lot of people together to bond and to share a drink, even though under very interesting circumstances. Essentially, what I'm trying to say, at least Thoronor, I can speak for my own nation, we have a lot of facilities to bring a lot of people together and to host a lot of events. And we plan on continuing on doing so. As long as people come, that is. As long as those who are invited come and enjoy our events.
All right. Julian?
Yeah, I agree with David. I think events are a great way for the community to bond. I definitely want to encourage that. I also want to encourage, I don't know if too many of you know, there's a lot of new faces to Drevhall, but we do have an entertainment district where we see a lot of games and whatnot. There's not too many right now. I know there's golf. I think Thermo is still planning a sumo pit, but there isn't too much. There's chess as well. And I definitely would like to encourage more people to create games, not just in that entertainment district, but just in general. More ways for the community to interact with one another and mingle and just have some fun. Like David, or I guess parties would be a good word to describe like what happens after the auctions. Like,
Yeah.
that's fun. It's a fun way for the community to just bond with one another, and maybe like people who are new to the land or people who don't really have the opportunity to get out of their nation because they're working so hard, just a free chance for them to interact with others. And I'm definitely going to try and build that up more. Be fun to have more events, different nations hosting specific events that tailor to their specialties. I think that's a great idea, and I want to push that.
All right. Yep, I agree.
Developing the entertainment district would be a big step forward as well.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I'm gonna do that even if I don't become High King, and I encourage anyone, no matter who wins, make games, have some fun.
All right. The next question is, again, it's for both of you. You would get a chance to answer. If you're being targeted as an individual, what measures would you take?
I
I'm
guess
assuming you
can
mean
go
targeted
first.
as physical, like, we can call it an assassination. We can say someone's
Yeah.
trying to just remove us from power. I mean, for me, I definitely want to try and strive for communication with me specifically. If people have issues with me, I want them to be vocal about it. But if for whatever reason I am a target, I am definitely going to make it known to my people. I'm going to encourage them to take up their own safety. I definitely plan, as an Ephirian, I would have different plans with my nation because that's where I spend a lot of my time. And while I would be, in hiding, I would still have some communication with like the Echo Book, so I can still hold up the duties of the High King while also having some plans in place for physical meetings that might occur that I can't attend to because of the safety of myself.
Well, this is a funny situation that we're in. Because this exact thing happened to me just a couple of weeks ago. I was the one being targeted, personally. And as my actions showed, I am willing to do everything, and I mean everything, to ensure the protection of my people. If that means sacrificing my own well-being to protect the Riverlands, I will do so. If it means stepping away to make sure that the Riverlands survives, I will do so. And I did that. And even if it means that is, in my opinion, that was the right thing to do, and even if it means that I did sacrifice myself for it, it did mean that I had to lose friends over it. It did mean that I still had to suffer for it. I did have a loss, and I lost a lot, but that just to show that I'm willing to do whatever is necessary and whatever is done. Whatever is necessary to be done.
All right. That would actually lead to the next question. If, say, you are not being targeted, but instead the continent is, as the continent leader, how do you ensure the protection of your people? And at the same time, look for ways to resolve whatever the conflict is.
Well, I'll just say that this also happened in the past during my venture as the High King. And we all saw how that happened and how I dealt with that conflict. I tackled that conflict head first whenever there was an issue with the Nashar invasion, for example. I don't just sit around and wait for us to get attacked, but with the Nashar invasion, I assembled a military force to tackle that conflict straight on. I have my history with with military and with conflicts. After all, I'm the chapter master of the Knights of the Withered Rose. So, as much as I don't like conflict, I know how to deal with it. And if it means that my country or my continent is being targeted, as I said before, I will do whatever is necessary and whatever possible to ensure the safety and security of the Riverlands and its people, because that comes before all else. If it means trying to resolve the conflict peacefully, which will be the first go-to option, it's always the first go-to option, as I firmly believe that there's always ways to resolve a conflict peacefully. There's other ways to fix things without resorting to violence. That is what I truly believe in. But if that doesn't work, I am no stranger to military prowess, and I am no stranger to going for a good old fight.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I have a similar belief to David. I would certainly, if there is a continental threat, something like, I'll use Frontier for example because it's another continent. If it's something like that, I'm going to try my absolute best to be upfront with them, try and understand what the issues are, and reach a conclusion there. I will try and keep up communication as much as possible, but I certainly would want my people to have their say in it. If things are not working out, I would like to hear what everyone thinks is the best course of action moving forward. While I do have the final say, if the people are calling for a battle, I'll see if it's time. They think it's time and I think it's time, then we would go to it. However, I do want to try and use that as a absolute last resort. Because I mean, I've always been someone who has been very social and always talking to people like that.
Fluffy.
I'm okay. No, I just want to
Anyone
place it.
into the hopper?
No. My book is
Oh my
fine.
god.
Okay, it's fine. I'll just continue.
There. There's
The other
Anyways,
question was about
so-
Here,
community.
take it.
I mean,
Thank
yeah, I think not only I'm willing to do whatever it takes. However, I definitely want it to be not just my own decision, but the will of the people.
Okay. I guess you both answered very well. And in an instance, if there is a situation for a duel or a fight, what actions would any of you take?
I mean, I'm assuming you mean duels in like an actual physical combat. I would
Yes.
certainly want to make preparations. Definitely delegate what each nation or individuals make, because I think if we do have to go into war, being the most prepared for all circumstances is the most proper way of going about it. I would want people to not just protect themselves, but protect their nations as well. So yeah, I think just making it a completely organized matter is what I would do best. And then obviously going into the fight, I would hope people would back me, but I'm certainly someone who will stand for my nation, stand for my continent, and fight alongside anyone who is there to fight on the front lines.
I think preparation is definitely important.
I'm assuming that the question is more towards a one-on-one duel.
Anyway, you can look at it. It's an open-ended
Okay. Well,
question, so
Yeah.
as you wish.
Obviously, basing myself on my own history, I would accept and go into it head first, but as experience taught me, it is not always the correct way to go about things. And as the leader of a continent, you need to have your continent's best interests in mind. So if that means selecting a champion to fight for you, or making an army, or having proper preparations, Just like Julian said, having proper communication with those who are in your continent, choosing the proper champion, discussing about what the people want. That's how I would approach it.
Okay, and we're pretty much done here. I just have one more question for each of you. I believe it's an important question to ask, and that should highlight you as the leader, as the future leader of Riverlands. So, David, I'll begin with you. As the current High King, with all the experience that you've already got, there was no doubt you got the experience by making the mistakes and learning from them. Do you mind sharing some of these mistakes and what you've learned so far?
Oh boy, that's a very good question. And mistakes were plenty. Most of these mistakes were confessed to at the dinner confession, but I'll share some more. Obviously, one huge mistake was thinking too much and worrying too much about myself instead of the continent. It's more about me being power hungry, me trying to be thirsty for power, and me forgetting about what the continent needs and just going after what I want. That was a big mistake. As the High King, you always need to have the continent's best interests at heart.
Mm-hmm.
Another mistake would be lack of communication. I know for a fact that in the past I have failed in being fully transparent with my people and with the people of the Riverlands. And that was a massive mistake on my part, and I learned from it. I know for a fact that without transparency, without full transparency on what is happening, there can be no trust. And when there is no trust between the king and their people, then what's the point of a High King at all?
Yeah, I believe you brought a good point. Is there anything else you wish to add?
Let's think. What other mistakes? Oh, massive mistake that I did. Recent one. Involving myself in affairs that shouldn't be concerning the Riverlands. Because of my own personal goals and ambitions. As a continent leader, I should not be concerning myself with things that don't affect or relate to the Riverlands in no way, shape, or form. I should be concerning myself with the people of the Riverlands. I should be the one who takes care of them, not be the one taking care of people from other continents.
All right. Okay. I'll move on to Julian then. Julian, you haven't been in a position of such a high responsibility before, although you're no stranger to the leadership roles. But when it comes to this specific field of being the High King, you, at the moment, lack the experience. Now, what could guarantee that you will not make the same mistakes as David did, or even make more? So, basically, why should the people pick you over someone who already has the experience and knowledge from the previous past?
Yeah,
From the past.
I mean, just like David's question, that was really good. I've been someone who, from the beginning, since I arrived here in Drevhall, I've always been someone who has been within the Riverlands as well as outside of it. I've always been watching. I've seen our, great continent grow, both as a nomad and as an Ephirian, a citizen and a outsider. And I've seen a lot. I've seen the pros, I've seen the cons, I've seen the mistakes that people have made, and I've seen the success that people have made. And I think me being such an active part of our community makes me a great choice for the High King. I am someone who is always around, always watching, and always learning. I'm always looking to improve myself. And I go to any nation that I can, whether it's in the Riverland, outside of Riverlands, looking to learn more about culture, the people, just lending an ear if they want to talk, lending a voice if they need an opinion. Seeing how everyone has grown, I think I have not just seen David's mistakes and can improve off of those that he has made, just like he can, but I have seen the mistakes of so many people in my time here in Drev Hall, and I can see the steps that I have to make, the path that I'll be taking as the High King. And you guys can rest assured that the path that I am taking is one that I have carefully calculated and made sure is safe for not just me, but for the entirety of the Riverlands.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Both of you brought really good points, and I appreciate you answering all my questions. That will be it for me.
Thank you for your questions.
Now let me just grab this book.
Here.
Thank you.
The Fallen's up next.
All right. So, I don't think I'll have as many questions as Fluffy. I just have a couple. Firstly, I want to ask specifically about if either of you as High King will be, because I know there was a question asked earlier about how do you think you'll help with the economy in terms of the stagnation of the ruby, but I want to specifically ask about if you'll do anything currently to encourage job creation as a High King, either one of you. As I know most jobs come from the individual nations, like with Etheria, Julian usually organizing different job things with collecting materials or doing things, and then in Laputria with us hiring people to build or gather materials as well. But will either of you specifically be creating jobs through infrastructure projects like making a road finally down to Cortosa or other things like that to offer Riverlands nomads that may not get first choice on nation work an opportunity to make some money? Julian can go first.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's great to employ people. I've always been someone who looks to employ everyone. Fluffy, I have to talk to now about making a job for people, but I do have plans for that. And I think, what you said is perfect. Hit the right on the head. I think anyone should have the opportunity to, make money. And I think having projects that help and benefit the community, the entire continent, is something that I want to push. Because sure, I can't really relegate jobs within a certain nation, but something like a road to Cortosa, certain buildings in like Wackland or the Heartlands, something for the benefit of everyone, I think is a great idea, and I think we need to have more of those, just so we can distribute the economy well to, as you said, nomads who might not have the opportunity or first pick for jobs, and even just people who are looking to work and get a little bit of extra money.
Well,
David?
in fact, it was before you, Fallen, joined the Builders Guild. I have been the one who has been funding the Builders Guild for quite a while, and I was the one who is usually giving jobs through the Builders Guild. And I would encourage now, since things quieted down a little bit in the Riverlands, and we can finally start focusing on the Riverlands a little bit more once this High King election culminates, we go back to work. That's what we say. We will be opening more jobs and abilities for people to start obtaining more rubies. For example, joining guilds, joining organizations. Not necessarily, you don't need to join a nation, even though this is very recommended because all nations have work for their people. I'll just give you a small example of my own nation. I don't like talking about others because, again, I'm not part of those nations and I'm not familiar with all their workings. Thoranor pays well for any type of development that its citizens do. any new ideas, any new blueprints, any new construction, anything that our citizens do, we pay for them. We pay them for it. But, as Fallen brought up a great point, such as creating a road to Cartosa, that is something that the Builders Guild usually takes care of. However, that job needs to be brought up to them. And usually I am the one who brings those jobs up to the Builders Guild. So, for nomads or newcomers to the Riverlands, a great way to obtain some currency to start up with is joining an organization such as the Builders Guild, where you can do tasks such as collecting materials, making a place look ruined, building a road, building a bridge. Small tasks that you will be paid for. And from what I'm aware, with the opening of more guilds such as the news and the mail section, correct me if I'm wrong, Fallen, but courier services could also be paid for, can also be small little jobs that people can do. As the High King, it is my duty to encourage those organizations to hire more people. It is my duty to make those organizations be more known to the world. And, in fact, it's been a project that was a little bit lost on... It's been put on the back burners, but we all know about the Wanderers Guild. That was supposed to be the Wanderers Guild.
Yeah.
That could be a good place to learn about specific guilds or nations that exist within the Riverlands.
I am working on that right now.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
that could be a good place to learn. And, for example, if a place like that needs funding, I am more than happy to help, both with material fundings and even monetary fundings.
All right. So, just to wrap it up, for that question, you want to bring in jobs through encouraging more guild joining and funding guild stuff and just organizations in general.
Essentially what I've been doing this whole time before, yes.
Yeah. And then you're wanting to directly create jobs under the High Kingship specifically. Is at least that's what I interpreted. But next question. This one is surrounding the Knights of the Withered Rose. It's historically been seen that the Knights of the Withered Rose have worked directly with the High King of the Riverlands as a police force and a way to keep things under control. And it's been effective so far, mostly because the High King has also been the chapter master. But in general, I'll ask this one to Julian first, since if he does get elected, this will possibly have more of an impact. Julian, if you are to be elected, do you intend to strengthen the ties with the Knights of the Withered Rose? Do you intend to distance yourself, or do you intend to keep things around the way they are currently?
I mean, how I view the Knights of the Withered Rose, it's an integral part of the Riverlands. They're there to make sure our community stays safe. So I would certainly want to keep a good bond with them. I mean, I don't know David's plans, but I'm assuming he's going to stay chapter master no matter if he wins the High King election or not. And I fully trust David as the chapter master. He's done some great things for the Knights. And I just want the Knights to keep doing what they're doing. You know, keep our great community safe. So I certainly want to increase, not only my general knowledge, because, just as a citizen, I am not totally close to them, but as a High King, I certainly want to get personally closer, but also in a political sense, just get closer with just another aspect of the Riverlands.
And with you, David, as chapter master of the Knights of the Withered Rose and High King, you already have both the Knights of the Withered Rose and the High Kingship closely linked together. Do you have any plans in the future of having it become an official I suppose, for lack of a better word, government entity, or will it stay distinctly separate as it is? Because according to our charter, as since I'm also a knight, our whole thing is that we are supposed to put the people first and then the government second. But do you plan on changing any condition that is
Here-
any situation that we currently have?
Here's the thing. Under my, should I say it, governance, sure, the Knights of the Withered Rose are, like you said, the police force that takes care of the Riverlands and ensures its safety. But first and foremost, the Knights of the Withered Rose are not just the police force, they are the ones that enforce and make sure that the Riverlands laws are being followed and not broken. And as you're all aware, one very important rule of the Riverlands is that if somebody breaks, it's a big deal, and that is ensuring the safety of the High King and ensuring the safety of the people of the Riverlands. Make sure there is nothing that poses risk to those two. And that's what the Knights will do, even if I am High King or if I am just a chapter master.
All right. I just got 2 more questions. This next one should be pretty quick. It's for both of you, and you can answer however you'd like. But ever since the High King elections and the crowning of the High King, there's been kind of thoughts surrounding the current status quo of how the nations are, I guess, centered around the High Kingship, the current governing structure, and how there's the High King, and then the other nation leaders, and the nations are both together under the High King while being their separate entities. And then there was a small controversy, I think partway through your first term, when we changed the titleship of the nation leaders from kings to lords. Um, if either of you are to stay High King or be elected, do you intend to centralize the Riverlands further, or do you intend to keep the nations of the Riverlands and the continent rulership distinctly separate?
Now, here's the thing. I'll give you an example, as I'm the current High King and how I have been looking at this. It's a title thing. It's just going to be confusing for people to call somebody else king while there is already a High King on his own, right? So, me as the High King, I don't assert my power or whatever. I don't put my own will on top of nations. Your nations of the Riverlands, they can do what they need to do. They are doing everything that they want to do. I'll give them full freedom to do whatever they want to do in their own nations. They can have trade, they can have relations, whatever they wish to have. But, as a courtesy, I just wish to be involved, just in case, to make sure that there is no, how should I say it, miscommunication, just as a third party. That's how I view it. But they always had freedom to do whatever they wished to do.
All right. Julian?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't get the whole issue with being called a lord or a lady. I've never really understood it. It's really just a title.
Yeah.
I think the current system is fine. Can it be improved? Absolutely. As David said, keeping the High King in the loop and just communicating not just with the High King, but with each other. I think that's the best way we're going to improve our system, is just communicating, making sure everything is clear cut with the High King, just so the High King knows what's going on. But I mean, I intend to let people do pretty much what they want. Obviously, I'd like to know their plans, and if things are going to cause some issues, I can address it with them. That's really all communication is for. Make sure there's no issues, everything is just smooth. But, as David said, I think Communication is key here, and it just makes everything, the whole process, just a whole lot better.
All right. And then final question, arguably one of the most important. Recently, there has been a decrease, at least for the general continent, of citizens within the Riverlands. It isn't too substantial as with Thornor rising to new population heights, thanks to their newest members, it's been mostly balanced out. But do either you intend to foster immigration or development of specific Riverlands areas, like, for example, Uzakan, which is essentially an untouched area almost completely, other than the castle and the market square, or just in general creating institutions to aid in the immigration process and allowing for people to join nations or to just become Riverlanders and take up space in places like Wackett Village or other areas.
Well, I'll take this. First of all, as John Ford called out,
I know what you're about to say.
Uzakan is now known as Azeron. You can clearly see it on like tags. And also,
okay.
second point
That's-
before I address your
Gotcha.
question, it's not just Thornor who's grown.
Well,
Thornor
yeah,
has had
you
some
also
great.
Yeah.
gained some.
So
I think
Etheria,
two members.
Etheria-
Azeron has
doubled.
grown. Yep.
It's
Oh,
not
I
just-
see.
it's-
I see in the crowd now. Okay, I see.
But
The
Welcome,
only
new
nation,
members.
the only nation that didn't increase was Laputria. That's the only one.
yeah,
So
pretty much.
I think we're doing
I mean-
something right. You guys made me
But
wanna.
I'll still answer your question. I think we can certainly continue on this right track. We're doing things
Yeah.
right. But, I agree. It really goes into making jobs for the community, helping Azeron grow even more. However, I know Dub. I know her. She has some great plans. She has some great guys who are helping her. I've seen John Pork build. I've talked with Hanzo, and Hanzo has some great plans. But I think we're doing things right. The Riverlands is growing. If you asked that question a few weeks, maybe months ago, I'd have a different answer. However, I think continuing down on what we're doing, and as the High King, I would certainly want to help build up not just locations, but the named locations, not just the whole community in a general sense. Help Azeron grow, help Cortosa grow. Any nation that would need my support in helping grow our population would be great. I also think Frontier has gotten a lot of nation or new nations as well as people, so I think it kind of skews the idea of the Riverlands losing people. I think other other nations are growing at a faster rate, as well as more nomadic individuals settling outside of continents. However, I certainly want the Riverlands to be a place that nomadic individuals can, maybe they don't have to join a nation, but just live in the Riverlands.
Yeah,
That's about it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about mistaking the new name of Azeron, by the way, and not noticing the newer members. I have been on an expedition as well as in my
It's
office
fine.
creating
I was
blueprints
just-
for Laputria
when
for
you- when you
quite
s-
some time.
When you asked
Well-
that question, I was ready for it to be like, well, it's not just Thornor who's growing, and then you said Usakan, and I was like, well, there's another thing I can bring up.
Yeah, that is my bad. Truly, I'm sorry about that.
Well, here's the thing. Julian brought up the fact of if you asked this question a couple of weeks ago or maybe months ago, he would have a different answer to this. And I do have that different answer. Because essentially everything that Julian said is exactly my points too. The Riverlands has been growing quite largely lately. And when it wasn't, I was the one taking the charge in advertising for other nations. You can see my posters, my old posters of Join Uzakan pretty much all over Ivy Hills, and all my propaganda posts in the notice board trying to push people towards joining these nations that didn't have that many people. So I'll just keep doing what I was doing. I will continue trying to promote and advertise this immigration towards the Riverlands, just like I was doing all the time.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you very much for answering your questions.
Thank you for your questions.
Everyone have a great day, and yeah.
All right. You got
Flu
three.
remembered his question.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. My mic's not working.
We can hear you.
We can
No,
hear
no,
you.
like my push to talk's like broken. It's like a
Oh.
hotkey. Hold on. Let me cook. Hold on.
Let him do what? There's no pots or pans here. Or a furnace.
Okay. I only have one question. It's like kind of for both, like mainly David. David, do you still actually want to be a king?
That's a very good question. Here's how I view it. I do and I don't. I'll start with why I don't. I don't because I feel like I put too much time and effort into being a High King and not enough time and effort into being the leader of Thorinor, chapter master of the Knights of the Withered Rose. But at the same time, I do want to be High King because I still firmly believe that I am the right man for this job, and I have protected the Riverlands for all these years, and I have grown with the Riverlands together for all these years, learned from my mistakes, learned from my responsibilities, and what I need to do. And now, looking at the Riverlands as it is now, I am like a proud father, pretty much. I can see how much it has grown, and all the population increase. I can see that Laputria is on the right track now. I can see that Etheria is growing greatly. I can see that Thorinor is becoming self-sufficient. I can see that all of these nations are growing together and they're working together, most importantly. Something that I can finally not have to worry about. Something that I can finally allow you all to do on your own. And as the High King, continue to do my duty to the people. Continue to do what I've been doing this whole time.
Oh, is that everything? All right. Are you okay? So here's like kind of the flip side, Julian. So when David was High King, there was a few times where he just like kind of dipped under the pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's like, I think over time, sort of maybe lost some of the motivation that drove him. Do you think that would happen to you if like you were put under pressure? Would you run?
I don't think I would run. I think David had a lot of responsibilities. As he said, he was the High King. He was the King of Thorinor. He was the chapter master of the Knights. He had a lot of responsibilities, and he didn't have too many people extending their hand out to take some of that pressure off of him. I am going to, if I am the High King, definitely try and relegate how much I have on my plate at once. Certainly I will have people to look to. I certainly want to, if I am High King, look to David for support in the transition time for me to be the High King, as well as the nation leaders for just getting into the new seat. However, I have been someone who has had a lot of responsibilities. I'm an entrusted figure of Fluffy when she has to take matters outside of Etheria. I am one of two people who am put into the leadership position. I have a lot of responsibilities with being a lawyer, and the auctioneer, a teacher. So I know my fair share of having a lot of work to do, and I have managed. I have reached out when I needed help. I have taken a step back when things gotten too much and planned accordingly. If I am High King, I'm going to do exactly that. Make sure that my plate is filled with enough so that I am working and I am constantly improving the Riverlands. However, things do not get suffocating. However, I think David has taken time. Him leaving, I think, has definitely helped him for the better. And I think the community can do their part in helping whoever is High King do better by just extending their hands and taking some of that weight off of their shoulders.
Okay, I know I said I was gonna have one question, but I have a follow-up question. Please,
Fine.
To save everyone's time, do not drag it on. So David is reliable because he's proven all the things he's said he would do because he's done them in the past. You're making a lot of promises. What if you don't follow up on those promises?
Well, I mean, I can't can't really look into the future. I do have quite a bit of plans, and I plan to follow through with them. You know, simply put, I'm going to be a man of my word, and even if things cannot be 100% to my vision, I will make sure that my plans are seen to fruition for the betterment of the continent.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking what will you step down if you do not fulfill your promises?
Oh, okay. Well, I misunderstood. My apologies. I'm not going to step down as High King. I don't think I will do that at all. I think I can manage the position.
Okay.
Thank you for your question.
All right,
Or
let's.
questions.
If there's any more questions?
Hans
Sure.
has a question.
Okay. So, in my time in the Riverlands, and all of yours as well, we have seen it grow substantially from what it once was. But what we have not seen is the growth of the Kingdom of Kitrev that now sits vacant. So, as High King, do either of you have plans for that space or for that kingdom?
Maybe
I guess
you wanna take
since
that
yeah,
first.
Julian replied the first.
Yeah.
In fact, Kitrev is not a kingdom. It hasn't been a kingdom for years. It has been just abandoned land. If someone wishes to come and create a new kingdom or even revive Kitrev, they are 100% free to do so. The resources are there and the support will be there too.
Yeah, I mean, I was someone who I really liked Kitrev. I was friends with in my past life a lot of their members, and you know, I'm upset that it's kind of gone to waste. If people are willing to restore it to its former glory, turn it into land, and use that land and use their infrastructure, I am, as David said, I'm fully in support of that. I want Kitrev to remain, you know, a symbol. It is a part of our history in the Riverland, so I think, you know, having some sort of action gone towards it would be nice.
Right. Thank you.
Okay.
Dude, that's a server rule.
That's a server rule, yeah.
That's a server rule.
I mean, I think I can just like answer this. I mean, in an out of character sense, I consider villagers part of our nation, but villagers are given, well, oh my god. I mean, yeah, I think, you know, villagers are citizens of nations. They should be given, you know, people not hurting them, you know, giving them proper living conditions as you would any citizen of your nation. Despite what people are shouting like floof over here.
I guess I'll reply because from what I understand, Ravish's main concern is ensuring the safety of not just the Riverlands citizens like us, but also the Riverlands villagers.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes. This is very important because I have seen this happen before, and this is due to negligence from those who employ villagers. And I also have a problem with that negligence. What happens is people allow these villagers to do whatever they want without giving them proper conditions of living and giving them proper safety of living. You can take a look at Thoronor, where all of our villagers have different houses They all have places where they can stay. They all have places where they can be. You dumbasses, I'm advocating for slavery. What the fuck are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
Dumbasses. Do you not hear what I'm saying? Do you not hear the underlying thing?
David is literally saying you can have slaves, just don't give them horrible living conditions.
Yeah, exactly.
Just out of character for a second. You guys are like, oh, and now that we say this out of character, everybody's like, woo, W David. Yeah.
What I was trying to say, how did you not understand when I said,
that's what I'm saying.
People letting them roam free with no protection. That's what I said. That was the problem. That was the negligence.
Yeah. There's a reason we are the candidates.
But yes, as I was saying, we need to ensure the villager protection just as much as we ensure the protection of the citizens of the Riverlands, because I also consider villagers as citizens of the Riverlands.
There we go.
And well, actually, another thing that I want to add onto this, and I will advertise Julian here as well. If you guys want to allow for these proper living conditions for villagers, please go to the Lazuli Academy and learn some magic from Julian.
Yeah, I love my classes. Lazuli Academy. You can find it in Etheria. It's a very nice academy. I've done a lot of nice classes, as many people have attended. Can vouch for that. But yeah, I think just give them they're human, they're people. give them houses, give them work, give them pay. You know. There we go. I don't know. I think Raz is like typing another question, maybe, or his response. Can't vote, John. You also can't vote for that. We got ourselves a chatterbox over here. I mean, I think
we do.
Fall, yeah,
we do. I just said that they fall under the same category as citizens of the Riverlands, and putting somebody who is a Riverlands citizen at risk is violating a Riverlands law. It's Rule 7 of the Riverlands Law Book.
Yep. I think they fall under that. Took the words right out of my mouth. We have a law for that, and they would fall under that. It is up to, nation leaders and nation individuals to provide them with housing and protection, and like you would any other citizen of your land. You would protect your friends. You would protect your citizens if you were a leader of a nation. So, but the High King, we have laws that do protect them. They are protected pretty much as we can do in the power of the High King. It's up to nations to give them houses, offer them the protection that they should and do deserve to have.
Here's the thing. If there's a problem where a nation sees that their villagers are being harmed by somebody else, there is a police force in the Riverlands that can be addressed. And that police force will investigate and take care of it. Laputria themselves have their own watch, so they can go there first. And others, if they don't have something like that, they can address the Knights of the Withered Rose.
We say this, but it's a good question. It's a good question to have.
Yeah, it is a very good question.
I just want to preface that it sounds like we're kind of like stating the obvious here, but it's a good question. It's good for everyone to just know that there are matters for this, because I'm sure you're not alone with this sentiment. You know, a lot of people probably have this question somewhere in their brain. They just don't have it at the forefront, so they're not thinking about it immediately. So, good question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry about having to come up again. I had this
It's-
question
it's
before I came
fine.
up before, and then I forgot. But
Yeah.
for either of you, firstly with David, he is both the King of Thornor and the High King currently, while you, Julian, are actually a regular citizen of Etheria, and
Mhm.
if you win, are going to be High King while also being a citizen of Etheria. Do either of you plan to um, expressly state and ensure that you will not favor your specific nation if you remain High King or be elected as High King? As I know that there could be some concerns surrounding favoritism to other nations for projects, for funding for different things, or just in general, and like using the position as a political move maker against the other nations within the Riverlands.
Yeah. I'll just go first.
Mhm.
I mean, I can say as a contractor, I show no favoritism to people for jobs. If people come to me, I usually have jobs in bulk where it's material gathering, and I tend to pitch jobs as this is something that would be more challenging with a bit more pay. It's kind of just first come, first serve. However, I don't show any favoritism. And if I was High King, I wouldn't show any favoritism. I am someone, I mean, I socialize with everyone. I'm good friends with a lot of people here. I'm not going to favoritize. I want what's best for the community. So, no, I'm not going to show any favoritism to Etheria or any nation, positive or negative.
Gotcha. David?
Well, here's the thing. This was asked before, and I thought I answered that enough before, but I'll answer this again. The idea.
Sorry.
Wait, you were okay. The idea is for the High King to not just increase population, not just fund things, not just take care of the nations. It's all three together combined, and that's what I've been trying to do this whole time. In fact, I can pretty much say that I have neglected my own nation in order to push and help other nations more than my own. And it took me leaving my nation for them to start actually working together to build more things. But I guess my experience and my history shows that I was doing the opposite of favoring my nation over others and actually favoring the rest of the nations more than my own.
Okay, that's everything from me. I hope that's
thank
everything
you.
from everyone as well, so we can finally vote.
We can. I don't know if anybody has any final questions. Going once, going twice.
All right, we brought the auction house to the Thornor Courthouse.
Yeah, we did.
Cool. Let's move this along a little bit.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
so,
why I was like kind of pushing it.
Wordbeard, you can go and have a seat for the Thorinor area because you're going to be the one representing the Thorinor leader, since I can't vote for myself or for anyone else.
Yeah.
As for the rest, make sure you are on the census, which is displayed right there on that book, if you wish to vote. That census was collected a few weeks ago.
Yep.
If you are not on the census, you can't vote. And you
In
will
this
need to,
election.
in this election, because this was brought up before a lot of newcomers came to the Riverlands.
Yep.
But, once this election is over, and depending on who is the High King, we will begin including more people into the census, because this reformation of the Riverlands monarchy system was started by creating the census first. So, it's just an old book.
Oh,
If
okay.
possible, I'd like
Azaronians,
to
probably.
Azaronians. How do you?
I think that would be how you pronounce it, right, Dub?
What is the suffix plural for your nation, Dub, if I may ask?
Azarons?
I suppose Azaronians.
It
hadn't
sounds
thought about
cool.
that. It does
Well,
sound cool.
Hanzo and Brass, I'd like to meet with you guys at some point afterwards, just to say hi, since I haven't met you yet.
Argonians.
And also Julian. Last time we forgot to head over, but afterwards I'd like to head over to plan out the newspaper area.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, have the citizens voted? Think so?
It
Now,
might be everyone.
nation leaders, please submit your votes as well.
Wee.
Wait, were we supposed to bring a book and quill?
No, it's right
No,
there in the
There's
barrel.
ones in the barrels.
Oh, which barrels? Oh, here. No, wait.
Both.
I'm blind.
I think both have them.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Is this the most amount of people that we ever had? Hold on a second.
Oh wait, maybe.
37.
Let's go.
I think we did break the record. Yeah.
Somebody take a screenshot right now.
I got it.
Holy.
Let me.
Ready?
9/11.
No, we're ready for this.
Yep.
Who did not sign?
Oh.
Who did not sign their books?
Ooh. Who didn't sign their books?
Who didn't sign their books? 2 people didn't sign their books.
You in
Shame.
trouble.
Let me read. Let me read.
Wait. Do you have a book called A Fluff Vote?
Did you not sign?
John Pork and Andy. Are those
No,
two,
Andy
or Mystic?
signed. Andy signed.
I voted.
You have one for
voted
Mystic?
today.
Andy signed. Who else?
John Ford
Mystic.
forgot.
John said that he forgot.
Okay, so depends on who you voted for, John Pork. This is the book that I give you.
Oh, they're
Did
different.
you vote? They're both different.
Who did you vote for, John Pork? Make your vote.
Or did he vote for
You gotta make your vote public here,
this is the-
unfortunately.
Wait, no, just
This
whisper,
is-
whisper,
what
just whisper it,
happens.
just whisper it, just
Yeah,
whisper
yeah,
it.
just
Whisper it to David.
Whisper.
Yeah.
You stupid idiots,
whisper it to
God.
David.
Not
Also
my
stay
high king.
away.
What a freaking idiots.
Mystic, did you forget the sign?
Tob?
to get voted.
Is Tob here?
Okay, so then I
Tob.
think it's this
Oh,
book.
Tob.
Yeah, it's this book. Here.
alright.
John, sign the book.
Mystic's the other one then.
Where's Mystic? Mystic, you're the other one then. Is this the one?
Goodness.
Mystic
Come from
voted
Is
a
this-
Kanye.
future high king.
Is this the person you voted for?
Is this the person you voted for?
Is
Yes.
this your
Is
card?
Okay,
Is
so
this your card?
just sign. Just sign.
Is this a new card drawn, or
Is
it
this your
not?
high king, or is this your high king?
Have the Queen of Hearts.
Where did John
I
go?
have the king of the Riverlands.
Where the
King of the
hell-
Riverlands for
I have
200.
Blue Eyes White Dragon. I have Pot
John,
of Greed to draw 3 additional cards.
You
on
need
my
to
deck.
put the book. Oh, you gave it to me.
I
Okay.
have
okay,
the
Mystic threw it in.
Maze Knights.
Mystic threw it in.
And
Put it in
My
here.
grandfather's
You
deck
guys,
has no
come
bad high
on.
kings.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right,
It's
all right. Here we go.
Alright,
Finally,
here we
we're
go.
Wait, so
starting.
what's slavery again?
We're starting. Both.
Think I
All
may
right,
have voted
we're
wrong.
starting. We're starting the vote count. David Dustin. David Dustin. David Dustin. Okay, I need to read this one.
Is anyone taking notes?
Yeah, Julian is.
I got it. Yeah, that's my job right now.
3 David Dustins.
Yeah,
Julian.
that would be crazy.
1 Julian.
I vote David. Zave the local drunk. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's me.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Julian twice. 6-6.
Oh.
Oh, 6-6. Oh, come back. Yo, the nature leaders coming in clutch right there.
Yeah.
The comeback clan.
David twice.
Oh.
Ooh,
snap.
8-6.
8-6.
Julian.
Holy wowza, bro.
8-7. Is Void actually gonna be the deciding factor?
What if he is, dude?
Okay, this is the same one.
Where's Archie, bro? Where did he go?
Okay.
I don't know where he is. Oh, we have Warp Beer here.
Julian twice.
Oh,
Oh,
99.
Julian
Yeah,
pulls
holy
forward.
God, holy God.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Julian
I'm skipping right now.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh, my
God.
God.
8-10.
Oh, my God. I'm skipping right now. I'm skipping so hard. Oh, my God. I'm skipping.
David twice. 10-10.
What?
Oh my god, dude, my yacht is shaking right now.
Mike Yacht is rising. Mike Yacht is rising in Ohio Skibbity right now.
Julian 11-10.
Oh,
He's literally
God.
mewing. He's literally mewing.
Mike Yacht is
I'm
mewing a
mewing right
Skibbity
now.
Riz
I'm
in
like
Ohio right
Tyson
now.
I'm just like Tyson
Please, I
in
beg
this,
you to
in
stop.
this
And the
state.
final vote.
Oh,
Julian 12-10.
Ooh.
Congrats.
Skibbity Rizzing in Yachtington, Riz, Ohio.
Okay, switch
Oh my
places.
God.
Switch places. Check. Switch places and check. Make sure that wasn't a miscount.
Sure.
Let's make.
yeah, I
I
gotta.
think
Holy
he
wowza.
has
Now,
it.
I just wanna say a couple words. If everybody could be seated, please. In your places, please.
Floof.
In your places, please.
Well, I mean, I just have to get. Gosh, what a leader, am I right?
While you won the votes of the people, this crown is not the real crown. The real crown is the one bestowed by Gamagan. I earned that crown.
100%.
And if you wish to get that crown, you will have to earn it as well.
Understandable.
Good luck, High King Julian.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
There's only
Oh
one
my
thing
gosh,
you
he's
could
King
say.
Julian now. Holy shit. Oh
That
my
crown
gosh.
does. Wait.
He is. Oh.
I gotta take a
So
screeny.
good.
Screeny.
Congratulations, King Julian.
Thank you.
King
Speech.
Let's go, Julian. Speech.
Okay. Well, unlike that one, I don't have it written in my canonical notes app on my canonical iPhone 14.
He has
I'll be
iPhone 14. What?
I'll be honest, I didn't think I'd actually win.
This is not a
Thank
good start.
each and every
This is
one
not
of
a
you
good
for
start.
voting.
He's forgetting.
I really
The Joe Biden
appreciate
potion
it.
works.
Wait, where's the teleprompter at? Anyway.
Oh
I
no,
appreciate
he's gonna
everyone,
start
whether you voted for
sniffing
me or
little
not.
girls'
I
necks.
appreciate each and every one of you for voting here.
He's gonna find the villagers and just sniff
I
them.
intend to, I'm gonna intend to keep doing what I've been doing. The auctions will remain the same. All of my stuff will remain the same. I will say, if you have any concerns, any questions for me, I'm going to be as available as possible. Whether you are a Riverland citizen, a Frontier citizen, or just an independent nation, I want to be a High King that people can trust and people can talk to and feel that they have a connection more so than just an individual and an entity. So thank you all for coming out. I thank David for his constant support. I'm going to be looking for him for guidance. I'll be looking for you nation leaders for guidance as we transition from the High King, because this is the first High King that isn't David. So thank you. And I guess that's all.